because it's podcast time?
Podcast time this is my favorite sport of the year.
Your favorite sport of the year. All right. More
That's
than
an
the
answer.
Super Bowl.
More than the Super Bowl. More bowls than an entire Super Bowl.
It's true. That's
I
the
don't think that's how
subtitle for
sports
this.
work.
That's the subtitle for this.
Can hold more
Paul,
nachos than any other bowl out there.
the Super Bowl or our podcast?
Both.
Okay. Like it's
I,
tied?
I feel like it's comparable.
All right.
I've
All right.
measured the Super Bowl and our bowl, and I think we're doing pretty good.
We're the Super Bowl of holding nachos.
Exactly.
Somehow this
We've
audio
done it.
podcast.
Yo, audio waves can be really strong if you focus them, especially
Sure.
in an MP3 format.
Sure. I think there's a superhero that
I
uses
have
audio waves.
absolutely no idea where I'm going with this. Just so you know.
Yeah.
If that
It's just
wasn't
the two
obvious.
of us. Paul's away on personal stuff. I'm sure he'll be back next week.
Instead, it is.
How was your weekend? How was your week?
Uh, all right. Like, got back from MagFest last week, so used this week to make sure I wasn't sick, and then just
And
kind
the
of.
answer is
I am not sick,
great.
although my phone's battery is low. Apparently, it is now telling me that right now. Yeah. So I just got back to streaming and doing videos again. So back to work.
That's cool. I actually didn't get to play much at all. My mom was in town the whole week. Mainly because last weekend I was down in LA for regionals, big tournament, big
How'd you
Quidditch
do?
tournament. We were like, so we didn't qualify for nationals,
Oh.
but we couldn't have been closer. We were literally a snitch catch away from qualifying for
Ooh.
nationals, which is honestly, there's no way to get closer. So we like, that was disheartening, but we made it so far.
So did only one team move on, or how many actually moved on to nationals?
So it's regional, so there's a whole bunch of teams. This was the West. I'm in the
Yep.
West region, and there was 25 teams there, and 11 get to go.
Oh wow.
And we had a pretty good shot. Like, it's a 2-day tournament. The first day we had 4 games, and we won 3 of them. So moving into the second day, we just had to win our first match, and we would have qualified immediately. But that's the one where we missed the grab, which put us in a losers bracket, which doesn't end it for us. You can still win your way out of the losers bracket back into getting one of those 11 placements.
Okay.
But because we lost our second game again by a snitch grab on that second day, we were eliminated.
Shitty. But
So
like,
we were super close.
you did good though. So do you have to wait till next season basically to try again?
Yeah, the season is generally over. Official tournaments, as far as official tournaments go. So the season's done. So I guess starting up in September again is when it gets serious. But for now, things going forward is just more like relaxing and playing for fun.
Nice. Get ready, practice, and win that championship.
Exactly. So we'll try again next year. But yeah, so I've had like a super busy week, and I was gonna use the road trip time last week just to play my DS the whole time. I didn't play it for a second. I keep thinking like all these road trips I'm having, I'm gonna play games, and then I just end up like chatting
I
and
mean,
listening
to be
to
fair, that's probably
podcasts.
the better thing to do is to actually like be social with your teammates.
Exactly, right? Right? Like you don't want to be the one person just in the corner like, what are you guys talking about? Okay, whatever.
Hang on, I made a jump in Super Mario. Hang on.
Yeah, something like that or whatever. So I was good. It was super hot in LA. It's kind of drizzly up here now again, so it's a bummer. But yeah, that's been my week. But this is the top down perspective. I know it's just got like really stuffed all of a sudden.
Ooh, you're allergic to the
Um,
podcast. We have to stop.
I guess I'm allergic to the start of the podcast.
Oh no!
Sean Booker and John Wheeler are here for March 3rd, 2016. Why don't I just do what I've been playing real quick because it's super short.
Super short. Go for it.
Super short. So I've just been playing Fire Emblem again. Are you still boycotting it?
Uh,
Are you breaking down?
yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't going to be for long. I had a chance to pick it up yesterday and I still turned it down. Like I said,
Wait,
if I
like the special edition?
no,
or...
if I no, I like my statement was if I find that special edition, I'll buy that straight up. But a friend of mine resells games and he has copies of both Conquest and Birthright. And I was like, no, I'm just not in the mood to play Fire Emblem right now, so I'm still passing on it. I'm sure there'll be a point where I'll suddenly want to play it again and grab it. But for
like you're thinking of buying both versions.
no, I'd buy one and then get the DLC.
Okay, yeah. I think that makes the most sense.
But
What like
I would still much rather get the actual collector's edition. I still think their setup was stupid, but I mean,
what
someone
can you
pointed
do?
out last podcast perfectly, like very sensibly, like a boycott is not going to do shit. It's more of a personal thing for myself, and
No, sure. Like
I
I
have so much
totally
I have so much other shit I should be playing. So
Fire Emblem's real good. Like again, it's the only game I played this week. I'm having so much fun. As soon as we're done, I'm gonna go back to playing it. Um, if and my feelings are kind of once I go. So I have Birthright. Once I go through it, I'll just wait for the other ones. Maybe there's gonna be a sale at one point because I don't need to play two Fire Emblem games back to
I
back.
don't think their DLC really goes on sale much, except for when it first comes out.
Well, I know, um, like full games, like the eShop does have sales. So like if Conquest is ever, 25% off or something, I'll probably pick it up then.
Hmm.
Uh, like main point being though, I'm not gonna buy Conquest right away once I finish Birthright, because I don't need to play two Fire Emblem games right away, right away. And games are coming out, and I have other stuff I'm looking
Yeah,
forward
that's the
to.
other thing. Like Nintendo Direct happened today, and a bunch of games are coming out this month.
Yeah, when we'll get to that in the news section for
Yeah.
sure. Um, but did you play XCOM 2? Is that why your tactics out right now?
No, actually, I missed out on XCOM too. I'm
Okay,
just not in a tactics mood right now. Like even
all right.
Cross Zone, I've already stopped.
I see. Okay, okay. Well, I would recommend playing Fire Emblem at one point. I could see it be because Awakening was probably on your top 10, I'm assuming.
I think it was on there. That sounds
Yeah,
right.
and
And Awakening was good, and I've heard it's just a better version.
yeah, so I could see you enjoying this game. So I guess we'll check in next week with where you're at. Do you know which one you'd pick up?
Uh, I don't know. I'm torn. The challenge of Conquest intrigues me, but I'd probably go with Birthright.
So I'm totally fine with my decision to go with Birthright. I am finding it, however, like really easy.
Really?
Um,
Hmm.
and I'm not playing on like hard mode. I'm just playing on normal, and I'm also playing classic style. So if a character dies, they die for good because I like forcing myself to restart the mission to do it again. But I'm almost at a point that like I'd say about 75% of my characters I can just put out there, and I'm pretty sure they won't die this turn. Um, which is kind of a bummer. That's just that's a small anecdote, and I'm only on chapter 10, so I'm only like about halfway through the game, I believe. I think there's somewhere around 20 chapters. Um, but anyways, I do also like the idea that Conquest has like you have to do different things to win the game, like hold out for a certain number of turns and stuff, as opposed to just clear all the enemies.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're both good. Like I'm still having fun, a lot of fun with Birthright. And yeah, that is all I've played. Oh, the one thing I will mention, I played a little bit more Witness. Haven't gotten anywhere further in that game.
Really?
I think I'm at the point where I'm just gonna start accepting hints or just like looking up a puzzle solution
Did
because
you get to the part that I kept hinting on that was like really obnoxious?
no, I'm at the top of that mountain and I
Yep.
can't find two more solutions to that
Oh,
that
you haven't gotten into the mountain yet. Okay.
no, like I've stared at the ground puzzle and I've like I said last week I solved it once. I can't figure out how to solve it two
Yeah,
more times.
it took me and Reese probably an hour and a half to get that one puzzle
Is
on.
do I have to like complete something else before I'll even be able to finish it again, or as
Nope.
soon as you get to that mountain,
As soon as you can get to
there's
that mountain and
okay.
you're doing that ground puzzle, you can get the three solutions.
Yeah, like I said, I'm almost at a point where I'm just gonna look up the answer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not gonna get to play the rest of the game.
I'll give you. Did you get the one between the legs yet?
Yeah, I don't want you to give me any hints while we're on air in case people are
Okay,
listening
but
and don't know any
that's
hints.
as vague as a hint I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, so maybe after when we're offline, you can give me some hints. I just don't want to spoil it for someone else, possibly.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, that's it. So what have you been playing?
I went on a bit of a Game Boy binge the other day. This happens every now and then. I picked up 3 Game Boy games I wanted to play through. And
Like original?
yeah, original Game Boy. Like I loaded it up on my GBA, but just because I didn't want to find 4 AA's.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So I played through. Man, I forgot them already, and I wrote them down a second ago. Joe and Mac for the Game Boy, which is terrible.
I have no idea what Joe and Mac is.
So Joe and Mac was an arcade game called, I think, Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja.
In fact, all of these games you're about to talk about, I have no idea. What is a Spider-Man?
He's a man who's also part spider. He's very disfigured.
Like a
and
human spider?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
like yeah, he's got like 6
That
arms.
guy from like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, there you go, that guy.
Okay, it's
Except
that guy.
Except
He
that
has
was
his own
4
game?
arms. Yeah,
On
no,
the Game
it's
Boy.
surprisingly, he had a spin-off.
He has 3 of them.
No, they skipped the first 2.
Okay, just right into 3.
Yeah, see,
That'd be funny.
companies like to do that.
All right, what's Joe and Mac?
Joe and Mac is an old arcade game where you're like these 2 cavemen that are running around saving all your cave women because a bunch of ugly cavemen scared them off. You throw like a
Okay.
bunch of like old tools like boomerangs, rock axes, and wheels, and you fight dinosaurs. So the Game Boy version is just a really bad version of that. That's single player. It plays like crap.
All right.
Uh,
Have any fun with this game?
Not really. No. I think
Okay.
I think I tried it twice and then stopped. I think that might have been the last. Yeah, that was the last thing I played. It's like
Why do you have this game?
because I like Joe and Mac. I like the other version, so I wanted to try this one.
All right.
And lo and behold, it was bad. The SNES version's really good though. So if you ever play the Super Nintendo one for some weird reason, try that.
I'll keep that in mind.
Then I played Battletoads and Double Dragon for the Game Boy,
All right.
which is. Have you ever heard of Battletoads and Double Dragon?
Oh wait, this is one game.
This is one game.
Okay, yeah, I'm not looking at your list. Okay, no, I haven't. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought you're talking about like 2 games real quick. You were just
No,
blessed
this
with
this is it's a crossover between Battletoads and Double Dragon made by Rare.
All right.
So you're literally fighting bosses from both games, and you're just like trying to save the world. It's really fun on the Super Nintendo, and this is just the Game Boy version, which is a port of the NES version. And it's surprisingly easy. I beat it my first try.
There you go. This is not in Rare Replay.
No, they probably couldn't get the license for this, because Double Dragon's owned by. God, I don't even know who owns Double Dragon anymore. It used to be Technos. They've changed hands a number of times.
Well, that like Neon one came out, right?
Double
So
Dragon
prob-
Neon, yeah.
Yeah, so it might not be too hard to figure out. I'm assuming whoever owns that.
Well, Way Forward did that, but I don't know who like loaned them the license.
That's true. I have no idea.
Other than that, I played. Oh God, what was the third one? Spider-Man 3, and this one was just pure nostalgia for me.
Is this like based on the movie?
No, this is original Game Boy. This is from like 91, 92.
Okay, so it's just the third Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
All right.
It's made by LJN. They're known for their terrible old games. And this one's no different. It handles really bad. It starts with you running around a park, beating up kids on skateboards and guys with trench coats hiding guns.
Like you're just like punching, or can you like web shoot them?
You can web shoot them if you duck and hit the jump button, because that makes sense. The controls are really weird too.
Yeah, wait, you don't just have a web shoot button?
No, well, it's a Game Boy. You only have 2 buttons.
Well, I'm assuming jump and shoot.
No, you have jump and you have kick.
Kick, not even punch.
Sometimes it's a punch, but it's usually a kick.
Oh, it's just random.
It depends on I think how you're moving or what direction you're pressing. And
Okay.
sometimes the kick button is your web swing button too.
Great.
Yeah.
I would assume that would be more of like a jump would be a web swing somehow incorporated
It
in there.
handles pretty bad. The reason I picked this game up was because as a kid, one of my friends had this, and I used to borrow it off of him all the time. But I could never get past the first world, and I have like vivid memories of trying this game over and over to a point where I tried to beat it in class once and got my Game Boy confiscated.
There you go.
Yeah, which was a bad idea since my mom was a teacher at that school and I got in trouble. But yeah, so like ever since I've always wondered like how do you actually beat it? And sure enough, I grabbed it and I beat the first stage. I don't know how I figured that out as a kid because it was just a pain in the ass to do as an adult. But
like it was still hard. It wasn't just like, man, I was a dumb kid. This
No.
is obviously the answer.
no, the game handles like shit.
Okay.
So
Is this like side scrolling? Like
it's side scrolling, yeah. But you have to like one of the first stages is you have to climb up a building.
okay.
But to do that, there are like ledges on the wall, so you can't actually climb up. you have to shoot a web at the corner and then swing around it and then above it.
Okay.
But to do that, you have to face the opposite direction of where you want to go.
You just like shoot your web behind you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to swing to the left if you want to go to the right.
All right.
It's
really weird.
really weird. It's
Okay.
not a good game.
Does he say friendly neighborhood Spider-Man at some point?
No,
Is the
actually.
Spider-Man theme song in there?
No,
Like the
but the music,
no?
the theme
The
song's
80s
actually
one.
not bad. That's about it. But it's also like 5 seconds.
All right.
Looped over and over.
Well, it sounds terrible.
It was pretty bad. Other than that, I got into this weird mobile game that's really hard to describe. It used to be called Pocket Master.
Wait, what do you mean it used to be called?
It changed its name since I've been playing it this week.
Just over the course of this week, okay?
Yeah, it is now called Super Evolution.
And sorry, what was it before?
Pocket Master.
Wait, is this that one that I see ads on Twitter and it's like super ripoff of Pokemon?
Yes.
Okay.
But you don't actually play the fights aren't Pokemon, but the characters are Pokemon.
Yeah, like it looks exactly like Pokemon. And I'm constantly just like,
No,
how is this not being like taken down yet?
It's hard to describe right now, but I'm trying to get you some pictures here to show. The characters are humanized versions of Pokemon.
Okay, yeah, someone just put a picture in the chat. It looks like
Yeah, Lord
it
Cuddy's
looks
on
like what would be, and the person's name is Shrew, and it's like a sand shrew.
it. Yeah, that's
if they were
how they get
also
around
like a
it.
boob girl.
That is 90% of the characters in this game are boob girls.
See, but on the advertising, it's not boob girls, it's Pokemon. Like
Yeah,
it
no,
is-
there are no actual Pokemon. There are just knockoff humanoid Pokemon.
Are they all boob girls? Like every Pokemon is a boob girl?
Just about all of them. There are a couple guys, but very few.
Are they like super muscular guys or like?
Yeah, Machop's I think like the only dude I've really come across besides like some of the legendaries. But they
Hang on, I'm curious. Which Pokemon are dudes? So Machop.
are Machop, and those evolution are dudes. Diamond, which is supposed to be I believe Dialga.
Oh, okay. He's a dude. All right. This has all the Pokemon in it.
No, it's got about 100 of them, I think.
Just 100 randomly selected Pokemon.
They're slowly adding more characters. This game is so weird. I haven't even
Okay.
gotten to like what the gameplay of this thing is yet.
Yeah.
My starting character was Char, and then became Chameleon, and then became Charizard.
Charizard.
So Charizard.
So literally, yeah, I was about to say literally Charizard.
There's also
That's the worst.
There's also Bulb, which turns to Ivy, which turns to Venus, and
Oh, I'm hearing in the chat. Let's see.
oh yeah,
Gyarados is a
Kentaros,
dude.
Kentaros and Gyarados.
Moltres is a dude. See, I would have assumed Moltres would have been a girl.
Zapdos is a girl.
Zapdos is a girl. What about Articuno?
Good question. That's too tough to tell, actually. I can't tell from the sprite. I don't have their artwork.
Okay, you don't have their artwork. Okay.
The long
Alright, I
hair
got
makes
it.
me think girl.
Okay.
But
I
I
mean-
love the way they get around the naming mechanics. Like Machop is called Macho Chop. Eevee is
Nice.
called E-V.
How? Okay.
Geodude is called Geode Dude.
Geode dude. Oh, that's,
Mudkip is called Mudskip.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oddish is called Odd Radish.
All right. All right.
Hop Hip is called Hippity Hop.
I'm enjoying these ones more than the last few.
Yeah. Hitmonlee is just called Monlee.
That's not. That's not
Psyduck,
good at all.
Psyduck is Psychic Duck.
That's yep. I mean, yep.
Vulpix is called Vulpix.
That's not good at all. A lot of these are just like we put a consonant in there.
Basically, that's what they are. It's so dumb. Jigglypuff is called Jiggle. Wigglytuff is called Wiggle.
Those are both really bad.
Yeah. Some of them
Okay.
are pretty much
What
on
is
it.
this? What is this gameplay?
It's
Is
tower
it
defense.
Anything like? Okay, so it's nothing like Pokemon.
You put 6 people in your party, 5 main characters, and then a backup character. There are 4 different types. There's attacker, defender, healer, and mage. And you
What is
just
mage?
mage is just projectile shooters basically.
Okay.
So all the starters from Gen 1, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, they're all projectile users.
All right.
And then you just fight wave after wave of Pokemon, or you fight other teams.
What kind of Pokemon are healers?
I can get you an exact list.
I'm just curious about a couple. I'm trying to think like which Pokemon are heal focused. Chansey?
Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Miltank, Togepi.
So like normal type Pokemon.
I guess Leafeon,
okay.
Suicune or Suicune, however you say their name.
Oh, the dog. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I've always said Suicune.
Suicune. That'd be a good thing to say it. Frostlass.
Okay, this is all right.
Chansey,
so kind of,
Blissey, yeah, a lot of normals.
Yeah. All right, and then a couple of extras. And is it set up like Plants vs Zombies? You just make like a line of your 6. Like, is it
more or less
pathways?
Like if depending on what class they are is where they'll stand in your grid of 3x3. You've got a 3x3 grid on your side. There's a 3x3 grid on the other side, and then people are just running towards you, trying to get to the other end of your side where there are these crystals. And if they get to the crystals, you lose, or if your entire team dies.
Okay. Yeah. And okay. And it's obviously free to play. So how are they getting you to buy stuff?
There's like a million different currencies, but the main one is called Pokestones, which let you get more Pokemon and kind of like do more events and get more stamina.
Pokestones, despite the original name not even having Poke in
Oh,
it.
dude, there's some direct ripoffs. There's my favorite character, Dr. Oak, who is literally just I don't know how well you can see this. Is just Professor Oak with like a dye job.
Yeah, it's like what they would have done if he was younger, right? Like
Yeah.
when his hair wasn't, gray yet. I mean, like, there's a good chance Professor Oak does have his PhD.
There's actually straight up Meowth.
That is Meowth. So
they did not change him. That is just straight up Meowth.
That's the one Pokemon that's not a boob girl, or a muscled guy, like an anime person.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's weird because I'm actually having a lot of fun. Reese and I have been playing it a bunch, and we're having a good time. But it is very much a mobile game that wants your money. It is a Hong Kong ripoff. I don't understand how they've gotten away with it.
Yeah,
because they're very clearly
because they just changed their name.
They're very clearly the Pokemon. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I misheard you. I know you said there's Pokestones, but what do you use the Pokestones for? Like,
kind of everything to like buy everything. Like buy more Pokemon, buy upgrades for the Pokemon, buy yourself more stamina to do the dungeons, stuff like that.
So it is a stamina thing. Like, I'm trying to think what is slowing you down to make you want to pay money. Is it
stamina?
So you can't play the game for a bit. You have to like wait like 60 minutes.
Yeah,
like an hour before. Okay.
Basically.
All right. Well, yeah, this thing looked like the worst when I saw the ads.
It's really weird. Like, check out this. Here's a sexified Kakuna.
Because this is literally like just Rule 34 for Pokemon.
Yeah, it really is. Well, except for like no actual porn. It's just like everyone's a girl.
Well, they're all in like bikinis. Like,
so I guess it's more Rule 63.
What is Rule 63?
I think that's a female version, gender bent version of everything.
I guess.
Like sexified version.
I don't know. I feel like it's close enough with Rule 34. Like, everyone's in a bikini. That Sandshrew, it was just straight up under boob. Like, I think it qualifies. All right. Well, I guess we'll check in with this each week. Is this going to be the new Record Keeper?
Well, I'm still playing Record Keeper too. It's just okay. I have nothing to do in Record Keeper right now.
That's when you delete it.
No, because they add new content every week. I just have to wait for the new content.
I guess if they add new content, sure. All right. Any other games?
That's it.
That is it. Let's go on to the news. Let's just start with the big one, the Nintendo Direct.
All right.
I was thinking about this before we started, and if I was to compare it to like a shape in terms of my excitement levels, like if I was to graph
a shape,
like if I was to graph my excitement level,
okay.
XY axis, it would look like a cartoon whale. Starts big, then goes downhill, then it goes a little uphill at the end for like a tail.
This is the weirdest thing.
Well, you know what? That was a good example. You know exactly what I'm talking about now. That thing first half was good, then it got real bad, like real bad.
You're just
And then
saying
there
that
was a
because
little bit at the
Hyrule
end.
Warriors came up.
Hyrule Warriors followed by Metroid Prime, Federation Force,
Dude,
followed by like Monster Hunter.
dude, like whatever. I am actually kind of getting into Federation Force. The more I see of that game, the more it's interesting to me, but
The box
they
art is
really
terrible.
they really should not have called it Metroid. That is really what is pissing off everyone.
Then it's just gonna be like generic robot shooter that'll be lost in the crowd.
I guess I don't know. It's
Like even though they're getting all
they're
this
damned.
bad
They're
press,
just straight up
they're
damned in
still
that one.
gonna sell more than if they had just called it like, anything besides Metroid, like if just random robot fighter or whatever.
Hmm.
I don't know. Let's try and go kind of through order. I didn't write down the order,
Okay.
just off the top of our head. Started with Star Fox.
Yep.
Is that right? Okay, so Star Fox 0. Um,
That's
it
got
seems like it's just going to be Star Fox again.
yeah, which I mean to be fair, there's nothing wrong with that.
I guess
We haven't had a new Star Fox in years, not counting Star Fox 3DS.
Oh yeah, the 64 3D, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they added Star Fox Guard. Is it just Star Fox
Mhm.
Guard? Yeah, Star Fox Guard is now they announced that, which was Project Guard, which we heard about like
At E3.
was it last E3 or two E3s ago?
All right, that was weird. That was last E3.
Okay, I could have sworn that
Or-
was longer.
Hang on, actually, maybe you're right.
Yeah, it seems like forever since we heard about Project Guard.
Maybe it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But either way, Project Guard was actually really good. It was super fun to play at E3 that year.
Yeah,
thought
I
for
heard
sure
some
that
cool
was
things. And
last
if people don't remember what Project Guard is, it's the one tower defense like. You get 12 cameras and you set them up, and then characters are walking in and you're trying to like shoot them off, kind of turrety, but very tower defense. And now it's all Star Fox themed, and it's a separate game. There is a bundle pack you can buy, but I believe separately they're like 60 and $20, American at least.
Something like
Uh,
that. I'm just surprised they showed like actual like physical Wii U case box for Star Fox Guard. That seemed like that should have been digital. I'm a little surprised.
Well, they're doing digital as well.
I mean,
They
I meant
definitely
digital
said-
only, but
Right.
yeah.
Did they do a box for Guard? I saw the combined box, like the thick box. I don't remember seeing a solo box for Guard, but I wasn't.
That popped up on Twitter later.
Okay. But yeah, that's the thing. So I'm kind of more interested in Star Fox. So that's coming out the end of next month, April 22nd, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds like the right date.
Next was
You
is it
know
that anime thing?
No, it wasn't Fire Emblem. It was something before that.
No, there wasn't a fire. Oh, they talked a bit about Revelations. Was it Fire Emblem? The one I was talking about, I guess we're just gonna go out of order because we can't remember the
Yeah.
exact order. I like tweeted the name, and it's something that ends in Sharp FE.
Yeah, that's the new Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei crossover game.
They never even once said it used to be called that. This seemed like a new game,
No, that's SMT Cross Fire Emblem.
so they changed the name.
Yeah.
Okay, Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Sharp FE.
Sharp FE. It looked like it, so yeah. Now that you're mentioning it, I just never even heard that Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem was all about like being a J-pop star.
Yeah, that game's been out in Japan apparently for a while now. I think it came out last year. But they're only like coming over here now. You got I think moderate reviews in Japan.
That's a bummer because that game looked like really cool. Like I thought it looked super interesting, and I was already interested in Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. So
I found the list in order. Splatoon was the next thing that came up, but yeah.
right, yeah, they're like balancing some weapons.
Balance updates for Splatoon, yeah.
That was their announcement. We're balancing the weapons. All right, thanks. Okay, well, if you got the order, like, what's next? Take
Sure.
the reins.
Splatoon updates, 2 updates coming out. First one is Tuesday, March 8th. That'll balance the weapons and make some of the actual upgrades like worth using. Second part will adjust. Will issue adjustments to matchmaking, rank battles, and Splatfest starting in April. Also, the guy who sells you guns in games, Sheldon, will encourage players to use certain weapons and weapon packs, mainly ones that were less appreciated overall. Then it was a trailer for Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games.
Oh yeah, how excited are you for that?
I mean, if you like minigames, they're
all.
good. I've heard they're good games if you like that kind of game.
The big one was they have rugby now.
Yeah.
And
rugby and gymnastics.
Rhythmic gymnastics.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did it.
Great.
Then there's another update coming to Mario Maker.
That actually seemed really cool. They're adding a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they're adding those floor crushers from Super Mario World, the spiked ones. They're adding keys. They're adding
that was
red.
A big thing.
Yeah, they're adding red coins that you can get for keys as well.
Yeah, they're not like normal red coins. They're like tied to keys.
Yeah, so once you
get them all to get the key.
Yeah, so you can make people like explore around the world to open the door to get to the end of the stage.
Yeah.
Also, now boss battles can be mandatory because you can give the key to bosses.
Yeah, it can be
which is also
tied
kind
to
of cool.
Enemy. That's a cool update. So.
Yeah, they're also adding Super Expert 100 Mario Challenge. So I think it looked like you play 6 or 8 stages. Yeah, it's 6 is the number here.
Yep.
And you get 100 lives to go through them. So odds are stuff like Pit of Pangaea and all those other insanely hard stages are going to be in that list. So good fucking luck. And apparently
like the reward for finishing that was like more costumes.
I mean, what else can they do? Cause
I know, I'm just like, who cares?
I mean, it makes sense to tie them specifically to just that mode, so then people who make stages can show off that they did it.
Yeah, I guess so. But don't you unlock the costumes just by simply like interacting with one? So even if you make the stage, but then someone plays it, they get the costume.
Nope.
Are you sure?
100%.
Okay. Well,
because on day 1 of the game, I played one of those. Oh, here's all the amiibo costume stages.
And you didn't get them?
Nope.
All right. Sure. Okay.
You have to either have the amiibos or you have to do the stages or the challenge modes on each difficulty.
Okay.
So good luck to anyone who does that. That comes out Wednesday, March 9th.
Next week, yep.
Yeah, it says 12 new mystery mushrooms as reward for the 100 Mario Super Expert. Then it was Tokyo Mirage Sessions Pound FE. Did they say
Sharp?
Pound? Sharp FE, right?
Sharp FE. I keep thinking it was Pound, and I was like, it's not Pound. I'm excited for that game.
I guess it makes sense to be Sharp because it would be music related. That comes out June 24th. They announced that they are not getting an English dub. It is going to be Japanese dialogue with subtitles.
That's right. Yep. Interesting.
Yeah, I hope that actually ends up being well received over here because that looks like it's going to have a niche ass audience.
That's true. That is definitely true. That's like the most anime thing.
I think that's probably why they decided not to actually give it like a dub, because they're not sure how well it's going to do. Yeah, they're like, this is not going to make its money back. I feel bad.
Yeah.
Then they showed off this game, this online game called Lost Reavers that Bandai Namco is working on. It's a free-to-play game. Free-to-play game, online co-op action game where friends team up to take on zombies and solve tricky puzzles within the world's temples to find treasures. Players can level up and unlock new skills while also earning enough in-game currency to pick up new weaponry. Lost Reavers will be open beta on April 14th, when the full version will come out April 28th.
I clearly just like blanked when this was on because I didn't care. But okay, what's that coming to?
Wii U.
Wii U. All right.
Then they announced a new Paper Mario, which I thought was hilarious because I was watching the chat reaction to this. This is Paper Mario Color Splash, which
for Wii U.
For Wii U. The first time they announced it out of anything. Everyone was excited for it at first, and then suddenly at the end they showed how the combat would be, and it was very similar to Sticker Star, and then everyone got very upset.
Yeah, I saw like the giant fan at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of the summons looked straight out of Sticker Star. The combat was like you had to color cards and then throw them into the screen from the Wii U gamepad, and that was how you fought.
Yeah, that sounds like it's gonna be real tedious.
Also, the screenshot in the article I'm looking at right now literally says you got worn out jump times 3. That is a move from Sticker Star.
Okay.
Worn out jump. So that was the weakest jump you got. So I guess it is actually just Sticker Star 2.
That's a huge bummer.
Yeah, the main gimmick seems to be color. The whole world that you've gone to has lost all its color, so your hammer can actually put color everywhere and like revitalize the world, and that's how you get around. Save
Also,
toads
when
and
they
stuff
showed
like
like Mario and friends showing up, like it was like they had like a breeze going by to make it look like, oh, this place looks so drab.
that.
Most of it was in color. Like
I
it's just
know that was
random
so
things that's
weird.
it's like this 1 out of 3 flowers is gray, so hit it with your hammer. I was like, this place looks fine. What are you talking about? Anyway, I'm not interested in that game.
I like Sticker Star, so I'm sure I'll enjoy this, but I know I'm in a very small minority on that.
Yeah.
Then they showed some more Pokken Tournament. They showed some new stuff
That game
about
looks
it.
so good.
That game is out in 2 weeks. I believe it comes out the 18th.
I thought it was the 22nd, but maybe it is the 18th.
22nd would be a Tuesday, and Nintendo usually likes to release on Fridays, which is the 18th.
18th. All right. I'm quite looking forward to that. I actually just pre-ordered it because Amazon keeps doing that like 20% off
Oh yeah, if
pre-orders.
you have Prime, you get 20% off, which is pretty good actually.
Yeah, yeah.
I should probably look into that.
Because after tax, it makes the game like $50. But yeah, I think that game looks so cool.
Yeah,
I
that's gonna
really
be
hope
fun.
it's good. I really hope it's good.
I hope it's good as well, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen because it's at Evo this year.
Cool, cool.
Then they briefly went over the My Nintendo rewards program and how you could sign up early for Miitomo.
I think that was the first time we had heard it called My Nintendo. I could be mistaken.
Not sure.
Because I know like I signed up for the account and stuff a couple weeks ago when that happened.
Yep.
I just don't know if it was called My Nintendo.
I feel like it was called My Nintendo as well back then. I'm not sure.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's happening. You can get your platinum reward points now, and they did not detail anything else about it. Just that stay tuned, basically.
Yeah, I don't know how.
And Miitomo is apparently launching later this month.
Someone in the chat is asking, does the Prime 20% off work in Canada? I'm not sure. Do you guys
don't
even
know.
have Prime?
That's what I wanted to look into. We do have Prime,
Okay.
but Prime is like 2-day guaranteed delivery instead.
No, that's what Prime is here.
Oh, I thought Prime was 1 day.
Nope, it's 2 days.
Okay, well then I guess it's the
unless,
same.
although for the pre-orders they said I would get it like the day of, but it is 2-day shipping. I don't know if the 20% off works.
I hope so. If so, then I'll probably sign up for Prime. Then they introduced Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge. This is a free game where to actually play it, you need the Amiibos. So you scan the Amiibos on your system, and that unlocks them, the characters in the game, and it unlocks challenges for you to do with those characters in game. Apparently, you can get early access to the game if you buy any Amiibo on March 25th from GameStop, Amazon, or Best Buy.
I'm gonna look up if I go to Amazon.ca with my account if it'll work.
Okay. Apparently, also Series 4 of the Animal Crossing Amiibo cards has been confirmed for June 10th, and I believe Series 3 comes out whenever Ryu, Roy, and Famicom Rob do, which I think is also the 18th of March. Then they announced the Super Nintendo Virtual Console is coming to the 3DS, but specifically to the new Nintendo 3DS.
Sorry, what was this one for the new 3DS?
This was the Super Nintendo Virtual Console.
Oh, right.
Which is
wow,
so
that game is
weird.
$75.
What?
Pokken Tournament is $75.
Welcome to how terrible our dollar is.
Um,
Worst part is our dollar's up right now. We're up to 75.
I saw that. I saw that it was at 75. You're right. I'm not seeing it. Let me try adding it to the cart and stuff. 'Cause I know I had to go a little bit in. As long as I don't end up buying another copy of this game.
Yeah. Meanwhile, yeah, Super Nintendo Virtual Console on the new 3DS only. 3 games dropped, I believe, today. That should have been Super Mario World, Pilot Wings, and F-Zero. Yep, available right now. Donkey Kong Country 1, Super Mario Kart, and Earthbound will be on March 24th. And April 14th we'll have A Link to the Past, Super Metroid, and Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. And unsurprisingly enough, the Japanese Virtual Console has about 3 times that much offered, including pretty much every Mega Man game that was on the Super Nintendo.
I did see that Japan was getting stuff. I don't see anything on the Amazon.ca, so
Oh, that's a
I
bummer.
don't think they get the discount.
That is a big bummer. Game Freak is making a weird, I would call it a mobile game, but I think the way they're doing it, it's not. It's a horse racing game crossed with solitaire.
I did say that. This seemed kind of cool.
Yeah. What is this game called? Pocket Card Jockey. You race horses while also playing solitaire and like sorting out cards and do like matching up sets and stuff like that. It gives you speed boosts that you can use to like power through fights. You can also like breed horses, and it's a weird horse simulator crossed with solitaire made by the Pokemon guys.
And this is 3DS.
And
It'd
this
be
is
nice
for
if it was
3DS.
on mobile, but
This is weird and it looks cool. It comes out in May.
cool.
Azure Striker Gunvolt is getting a sequel. I don't know when that's dropping. Oh, in the summer. And right now, the original game is on eShop for $10. It's on discount right now.
Yep.
Fire Emblem Fates Revolution, which was the 3rd chapter of Fire Emblem Fates, is coming out March 10th, which you can buy for $20 if you have any of the versions, or if you had the collector's edition, you already have it for free, because I think you got it 2 weeks or 3 weeks early.
Wait, like,
also,
they have it now?
yeah, that was one of the other things about the collector's edition, was you got the 3rd chapter for free, like included.
I knew you got the 3rd chapter. I didn't know you got it early.
You got it 3 weeks early, I believe.
Okay, then they probably have it. Yeah, now I guess. Maybe that's what I thought was the 22nd. Was that one? Something's the 22nd.
So far, like none of the things I've said have been 22nd though. I don't think.
I'm thinking maybe Revelations. What, like, maybe that's when it
No,
came out.
that drops March 10th.
Something is on March 22nd. I'm sure you.
Maybe we'll hit it in a bit.
Yeah.
More DLC as well for the game, and that hits March 17th. And then there'll be maps made available weekly till April 21st. If you bought Map Pack 1, you're getting a bunch of these maps for free, or at no extra charge rather.
Right.
All right, and this is probably the part where Sean tuned out because it's Hyrule Warriors Legends.
Yeah.
That still looks like Hyrule Warriors, but with more characters, so I'm excited. That comes out.
Are you actually gonna get it? Like, play that game again?
I'll get it. I mean, I don't know how much I'm going to play it, but I am going to get it. I like
Okay.
Hyrule Warriors.
But if you don't even think you're gonna play it that much, why get it?
Because I'm sure there's going to be some point for it, and it's going to unlock stuff for the Wii U version.
Which you don't play that though.
I've played that more frequently than I would expect.
When was the last time you played Hyrule Warriors?
A month ago.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay.
You seem legit shocked about that.
Yeah, like what? Okay.
The game
I'm
is
glad you like that.
Hyrule Warrior Legends, bizarrely enough, is getting a season pass as well, so that means there's even more DLC. I don't know if it's going to cross over with the 3DS or with the Wii U one at all in that sense. If you buy the physical version, you get a code to unlock, I think it was 5 characters in the home version. It was Tetra, Toon Link, King of Red Lions, Linkle, and I'm forgetting who the 5th one is.
I remember they announced the Bird Girl.
Oh, that's who it was. Oh, never mind. I got the it's Linkle, Skull Kid, Tetra, King of Red Lions, and Toon Link.
Okay.
So those are the ones
I think they said the Bird Girl everyone gets for free.
Yeah, that's when the first DLC pack drops for it.
Yeah, I forgot her name, but the harp. From
Medley.
Wind Waker. Medley. That's what it is.
And then they introduce Art Academy Disney.
Yeah.
So you know what? This makes a lot of sense actually. If I guess Pokemon Art Academy sold really well, and the other art academies, so why not do something that a lot of kids are really into, which would be Disney characters? It'll teach you how to draw Pixar characters and traditional Disney animation characters, even characters from 3D ones like Frozen.
Yeah, they even said, and don't worry. No, they said, and yes, even characters from Frozen.
Well,
because
everyone's
perfect. Yep.
That's like the new hotness right now.
I don't know if that's the new hotness, but it definitely was.
It's still really popular. If I went to Safeway the other day and I could have bought a can of Campbell's soup that had Frozen on it, so.
Did you?
And it was there. I did not buy it.
I think that shows us that your excitement level for this game.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited that there is frozen soup out there. That game comes out May 13th. Bravely Second End Layer, which I'm actually pretty excited for. Demo comes out Thursday, March 10th. The 10th is going to be a very busy day at this rate. The demo actually has content that will not be in the main game.
Yeah, that interested me.
It unlocks extra content for the main game. The main game comes out April 15th. If you're in the Best Buy Gamers Club, you should get an early access code for the demo starting Monday. Otherwise, you can just download it on Thursday the 10th. And they talked
Can't
about
wait for that demo. Sweet demo. Can't wait.
I mean, to be fair, the Bravely Default demo for like the first game was over an hour long.
They also mentioned that demo is still there. People could play that if they wanted.
Yeah, if you've never played Bravely Default. And I recommend 3/4 of that game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I do as well.
Then we moved on to Dragon Quest VII, getting a port to the 3DS. That is actually coming out in North America. This, bizarrely, did not have a release date. I think this was one of the few games they mentioned that did not have a release date.
They had mentioned this game before, though, because they also mentioned it with 8.
Yeah. 7 is getting released sometime in the summer, which this whole Nintendo Direct was for games up until summer.
Right. Okay.
Because they wanted to leave E3 a mystery, I guess.
Sure.
Then it went to reveal of Monster Hunter Generations, which I guess is just Monster Hunter Cross, just the North American version of it.
Yep.
If you're into Monster Hunter, it looks good. If you have Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate save data, it'll actually unlock stuff in that game as well.
Oh, yeah. From Flat Matt in the chat says, wow, no mention of cats. Yeah, Bravely Second has a class called the Catmancer.
Yeah.
Where you get to somehow like collect enemy moves that
so it's a blue mage
reincarnated into cats that use the attack for treats.
I know, which is the most Bravely Default way of doing that because that game is weird.
It's a weird game, yeah.
Yeah, so like it's just a blue mage from Final Fantasy if you're up on your Final Fantasy.
Right.
But I just love the fact that you like throw them treats and that's how they do attacks.
Yep. Catmancer.
Also, people are saying, how come I'm not mentioning Moonbase? Moonbase is just the village from Bravely Default 1. Just in this game.
What is Moonbase?
So, when they showed the bonus you get for the trailer, or for playing the demo, it mentioned you get more characters in your Moonbase, which to me seems like that's just the new setup for the village in the first one.
Okay, yeah.
And considering how crazy Bravely Default 1 got, I am not shocked that you have a base on the moon in the second one.
That's true. That's true.
Also, if you haven't, you should play most of Bravely Default 1.
Yeah, that's a cool game. Except for that last bit, but that's a cool game.
Oh, I missed Marth. There's a Marth costume in Monster Hunter.
How could you possibly miss that?
I don't know. I don't play
exciting
much.
News.
Actually, that was the next thing on the list. I stopped a little too early. I read the chat and saw that. Boom. Metroid Prime Federation Force was very awkward in this direct. It felt like they were literally on damage control, and they sort of acknowledged that. Like I
don't know if they really
Bill Tritton even
that.
said like this is like to quell your fears about Federation Force. Like he made it pretty obvious that he realized people freaked
sure he
out.
said something like, "We didn't say much about this at E3, so here's to shed some light." Or
no,
something.
it was pretty not divisive. He said like something akin to that, like one of the more talked about like games from
maybe
E3.
it was that. Okay,
it made it seem like they were on damage control.
I don't think this game looks that good.
The more I see this game, the more interested I am in it. But like I said, they really shouldn't have called it Metroid Prime because that just pissed off everyone. Even though the gameplay is Metroid Prime, hands down. Like you look at screenshots, you know that's a Metroid Prime style game. A lot of people are upset because the last time we got a full blown Metroid game was Other M, and that was mixed at best.
But that wasn't a Prime game though. But no. Yeah, it was Metroid.
I mean, then if we're gonna go that way, then Metroid Prime 3 was the last one we got.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they did this. They said they were working on this. 2009? I think they said they wanted to do this. They said they were working on this for a long time.
Yeah. And I can't remember what pulled him away from it, and then he came back to this.
Yeah.
And it was and now that the DS has a C stick, we were like, it's time to do this. And it was like,
and it's
okay.
just like, no. But what about those who don't have new 3DSs? Don't do this. You're so. But then again, he said that this originally started as a DSi game, which That
right. Yeah,
I
those
think
are
was
on the
more
DSi.
telling than anything.
Yeah. I mean, I
Um,
guess they need some games for the people who did buy the new 3DS to feel like justified.
yeah.
Because so far, isn't it like just Monster Hunter?
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, and Xenoblade
There,
Chronicles.
yeah,
That's what
I think
that's
there's
what I
only
meant.
like 4 games maybe that use it. Binding of Isaac Rebirth is one of them.
And is that exclusive though? Like you can't use it on the normal three. Okay. All right, cool. Well, 4 games. It's
I
the
don't.
DSi again. Like
It's weird.
it's like you can skip this one.
Yeah, I don't know, but that game is coming out this year. I don't think did it actually have. I do not know. I do not actually see a release date on it. I loved also that apparently they added a new trailer for the game, and then they straight up turned off upvotes and downvotes on YouTube because they knew it would just get downvoted to hell.
I didn't know that. That's pretty funny.
That's Nintendo knows. They've learned their lesson. They don't. I don't see a release date here, so I don't know when that is coming out. But then they moved on to a Rhythm Heaven game that we're actually getting.
Yeah, it kind of mixed feelings on that because it's like a compilation of I guess the last two, but it's also going to have all of the GBA version that we never got, as well as like 30 new mini games they were saying.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I'm all for it. Rhythm Heaven is fantastic.
30 new ones and a handful of ones from the original GBA version never released in North America. I don't. There's no release date. Just says later this year. But the fact that we're getting a new Rhythm Heaven is amazing.
And it's probably going to be like $20 because those games are always budget priced. Like I can't wait. Rhythm Heaven is fantastic.
Did they even? Yeah, 3DS. That's the console. And then they closed out with Kirby Planet Robobot, which is basically another triple deluxe game, but with you can get robot suits.
Yeah, it looks exactly like Triple Deluxe. I'm uninterested.
I am excited because I like Kirby games. So,
I liked Triple Deluxe. I would just prefer like something a little new, not that again.
I'm curious. They also introduced what the new mini game is going to be: Team Kirby Clash, which is a semi role playing, semi combat based arena fighter. Where you
it's just like boss mode, but each of you get different classes. Yeah, so there's like a healer and stuff.
Yeah, team boss rushes with like different moves, and you can work together. It looked cool, actually. But I don't know.
I'm just Smash Bros. One from the last game. That was great.
What?
The Smash Bros. Minigame in Triple Deluxe. That was really good.
That was really all those minigames are actually pretty fun. Even the DDD one was pretty good. The rhythm one.
I wasn't a huge fan of that.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was good. Trying to think of what else here. Amiibo support with this game. 4 new amiibos coming out for it. The only new character for the amiibos is Waddle Dee. They all unlock power-ups in the game, including your old ones. And if you buy the Kirby one, is the only way you can get the UFO power-up in the game.
And can't you use the his Smash Bros moves?
Yeah.
Somehow?
Yeah, that's a power-up.
They've
done that a couple times, the Smash Brothers moveset.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think they introduced that.
Kirby is the one amiibo that I have.
There you go. So you can get your Smash Brothers style gameplay.
Oh, great. Except my 3DS doesn't take amiibos, so.
Oop, and your Foo Bard, unless you want to buy that receiver for like $20.
Nope.
Had a feeling. I find it funny that they call it Planet Robobot because I used to say that a lot as a kid for robots. So it's weird seeing
Robobot?
that.
I thought you were gonna say you used to say Planet Robobot a lot.
No, I used to say
why?
here comes a Robobot, and it's weird seeing a company use that as an actual name for a video game.
Here comes a Robobot. Nice.
Robobots away, and that was the Nintendo Direct.
All right. These will probably go pretty quick. Microsoft has plans to somehow upgrade the Xbox hardware.
What?
No word on what that really means. They just
Another
said,
Kinect.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's that or if it's somehow like expansion pack or it can't be because those things never work well. But let me try and find the quote from this article. Here's one. He was saying on PC and mobile. Who was saying that? This was Phil Spencer. He was saying on PC and mobile, you get a continuous innovation that you rarely see on console. Consoles lock the hardware and the software platforms together at the beginning of the generation. Then you ride the generation out for 7 or so years while other ecosystems are getting better, faster, and stronger. So he plans on decoupling the Xbox One as a software platform from the hardware it first shipped with. And again, it's not exactly clear what that means, but he wants to have the capability of hardware iteration. Uh,
Oh,
so I don't know, modular consoles, like it sounds like expansion ports or expansion packs, but again, those never do that very well. We just talked about it on the 3DS, like there's 4 games for it. And why would a developer risk uh, um, developing for a smaller user base than the base product? We saw this with the arcade system as well. Everything had to work on that, and then eventually, near the end of the 360, they said, "No, you need a hard drive for this." Um, but I guess this is also to help further link all their games to Windows 10's
yeah, that seems like
game
that's what they're
store.
aiming for, which makes sense,
So
but it's a little.
yeah, I don't know what this means. I'm curious. It's very vague at the moment, but I guess we'll see what happens. Quantum Break is still coming out on Windows 10. Don't forget.
Does
The
that even have a
Pokemon
release
Go.
date yet?
Yeah, it's like in April. It's pretty soon.
All right, sweet.
Yep, I'm excited. I like Remedy a lot. We mentioned this like a week or two ago, that Pokemon Go presentation happening at GDC, where they were going to talk more about that, has been canceled. No real reason why, from what I've looked around at, but that's a bummer. I'm very curious uh, what Pokemon Go is. Like, I want that seems super cool, but anyway, No Man's Sky finally got a release date and price that was quite interesting. June 21st, first $60. It's
Okay.
getting full retail
That
and
for a
download.
game, the scope that game seems to have, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were just like, even myself included, didn't really know like what that was going to be. If it was going to be more on like the downloadable game price points, like a
Yeah,
30
have they
$40
even said if
thing.
there's going to be a physical version of this or it's only digital?
There's a physical version of this. In fact, I pre-ordered it because of the 20% thing with Amazon.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's getting a full retail copy. So I got it on PS4, June 21st. I hope that game. I hope that game is something I want to play. Like, it seems like really ambitious. I just hope I'm actually into it. Um, this was pretty interesting. Rock Band and Harmonix obviously started a
A fig.
yeah, what is it called again?
A fig
Playfig?
for
Playfig.
yeah,
A
for
Playfig campaign in order to get Rock Band 4 ported to the PC and start up the Rock Band network again. Is Playfig the one that's
Psychonauts
co-owned?
2.
Yeah, because it's
That's
co-owned
the
by
one.
Tim Schafer, right?
Double Fine and Tim Schafer, yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't even looked at the campaign. I'm gonna go to it. It's 35 days. They want $1.5 million. They currently have 32 days left. They actually have about 33 days left.
Hmm.
And they're currently at 293,000, or 19% of their goal.
Well, that means clearly
925
someone wants it.
backers.
Did you say
Um,
1.5? I thought it was 1.2 million. And the
I'm looking at the thing right now.
Okay.
It's 1.5. I'm trying to see what like the I'm curious why Playfig and not Kickstarter.
I
But I'm
think it's
seeing
well,
like
Playfig is gets the people who back like they get financial reimbursement if it does well. So that might be why.
I'm looking at what some of these rewards are. $10 will get you access to comments and discounted add-ons. So I'm assuming that's going to be discounted songs. Because what other add-ons are there?
Yeah.
Clothes for your character. $20 gets you A City Sleeps, that game they put out last year. Best of Indies playable tracks, and then the discounts. $49, that's a weird price. Gets you the PC game. Early access, 30 songs, and everything else. Everything is estimated delivery of Q4 this year. Let's see, $99. The new thing is a limited edition Rock Band Swag Pack. What is that? It includes the cool Rock Band paraphernalia you need to live the life of a rock star. So that includes a guitar pick, which you can't use in Rock Band because those are fake instruments. Drumsticks, which you already get drumsticks. A notepad and pen for signing autographs.
Hell yeah.
You get a sticker. It literally says a sticker.
It seemed like you were going up in scale at first, and now it's going back down.
You get a forehead tattoo.
Great.
Can also be applied on any other parts
is it literally
of your
just the
or
number
a friend's
4?
body.
Is it literally just the number 4?
No, it's spelled forehead like your head.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and a snazzy fabric patch. Oh, here we go. Finally, to navigate those in-game menus, even smoother, a swanky mouse mat, which I'm assuming is a mouse pad. For $150. And we get a bunch more. You get exclusive developer chat, Rock Band 4 t-shirt, and official in-game credit. $250 gets you a Harmonix VIP party at PAX East 2016. So I guess you get entry into that.
Mm-hmm. They had that for Amplitude as well.
Oh man, these next ones have been sold out for $500. Again, this is sold out. 5 people claimed it out of 5. You get a Harmonix studio tour.
I mean, that's cool.
For $1,000. Again, this is sold out. 5 people claimed it. The bonus for this one is exclusive original concept art.
Really?
How's that not the first one?
Really? How?
So if you spend $500 and you want to double it, you get access to exclusive concept art.
There's gotta be more to that. There's no way.
Okay, hang on. As a token of our gratitude, we will be delighted to give you a rock. Oh, hang on. There's more, but it's not in the list. Oh, hang on. No, sorry. For $1,000, you get the exclusive concept art and a signed Rock Band 4 guitar controller. Those things retail for like $80, by the way.
But signed by the entire dev team, I assume?
I'm assuming so. Signed by the Rock Band development team. In addition, you will receive a unique and exclusive piece of Rock Band 4 concept art, professionally printed, signed, and framed.
And they still get the tour, right?
They still get the tour, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
you know what? I can for $500, I could understand that. I could see collectors going crazy.
$500 more, you're getting you're getting the signed guitar.
Yeah, I could see people going crazy for that.
People clearly did. For $6,000.
That's a jump. Okay.
Let's get ready to roll. Aside from everything above, this amazing offer includes an entry ticket to PAX East 2016.
Okay. So far, the cheapest way to get
as a
into
special
PAX East.
guest of Harmonix, an invitation to our VIP party, which already was included, and all this including flights and hotel.
Oh.
So they'll fly you to Boston.
That, I assume you've got to live in the continental U.S. for that.
Yes. And it's a 3-star hotel for 3 nights.
3-star hotel? Okay.
That's what they.
I was like, 5-star, maybe for that.
5-star would probably cost more.
Yeah.
All right, here. Oh, we're not done. $10,000.
Oh my
god. You get
Director's
an
credit,
in-game
probably.
model and portrait.
Yep.
And a dinner with Alex Rogopoulos or Tim Schafer. Not both. You get to pick.
Yeah, you have to choose. That's the $20,000.
John, who would you pick?
Alex, I think.
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm more interested in their games.
I've actually met Tim Schafer before at a Double Fine party at PAX. So I guess I would do Alex too. Man, how many more of these? Okay, there's 2 more for $15,000. You get to
going.
ride in a helicopter. You get a guided tour from Alex Rogopoulos in a helicopter.
This is at what? 15,000?
This is $15,000.
Ride around in a helicopter. Why the hell not?
And the last one. It's funny because all these like really high ones, you can only get like 2 or 3 people can claim them. The $25,000 one, 10 people can claim this. For $25,000, you get to have your song in Rock Band 4
Oh,
PC.
God. I was wondering if this would ever come up.
And your song will be available for free DLC. so you
Okay.
don't get anything for that.
Okay. No, that makes a bit more sense then. But still.
Although it straight up says your song in Rock Band for PC, so maybe not the other ones. Like I would assume all the songs go
I assume
together.
I
Like,
would assume this meant they were going to do it for Rock Band Network, which would mean then yeah, it's on all of them.
well, it can't be Rock Band Network because anyone could put their song on there, right? That wouldn't be a very good. I'm not paying $25,000 for
That's
something
a
someone
good
else can
point.
do.
This is official DLC, so
Yeah, I just don't know why they specifically says your song in Rock Band for PC. Anyway, um, that so get donating, I guess.
do it.
I think
How
I
many
heard
people did the
that
25,000? Anyone yet?
no one's done that yet. No
Okay.
one's done any of those like top ones. The highest one
I
was I think the
I guess
$1,000.
the problem with that is you need to be a musician, and most musicians do not have $25,000 to their name.
That's true. That's true.
If they're at a point where they have that much disposable income, their song is probably already in Rock Band 4.
Anyway, I hope it gets funded. I would like to see Rock Band Network back. That was cool. And I have some Rock Band Network songs. I would like to play them.
Going back a sec to the Pokemon Go GDC presentation being canceled, there's official response from the Niantic CEO, the company that's working on the game. We decided to forego our GDC talk on Pokemon Go in order to focus on getting the product ready for beta test and launch. As much as we hate to disappoint those in the industry attending GDC, we feel our time and energy right now are best spent on making sure every aspect of the product is where we want it to be. So basically, it's like they're skipping E3 to work on it, essentially, but just for GDC.
Yep. Speaking of E3, there's not going to be an Activision booth there either.
Which is crazy. They have one of the biggest booths there.
It's from Activision. It says, in June, we're going to be at E3 showcasing gameplay from Infinity Ward's ambitious new game. We're looking forward to sharing exciting new details about the next great Call of Duty game in partnership with our friends at PlayStation. We're proud to be participating in this premier video game event, but won't have an Activision booth on the show floor. So I guess that means it'll be maybe at the Sony booth, and it'll obviously be on the stage at the press conference.
Yeah.
But that's it. First EA, I guess first Nintendo, EA dropped out, Activision's dropped out. Maybe E3's dead.
It might be.
It's dead.
I would not be shocked if after this year there was they either skipped a year or they just restructured everything.
Yeah, that would definitely be interesting if they skipped a year. Last bit of news I had is there's not going to be a new Disney Infinity game this year.
Oh
I
my
thought that was
god.
mildly interesting because normally we've had one each year.
Has it really been that Oh my god, you're totally right. It's pretty much
Because yeah,
been that.
Disney Infinity 2.0 because we had Marvel stuff, and then 3.0 with Star Wars. There will not be a Disney Infinity 4.0 this year. There's just going to be more figures and stuff.
I mean, it makes sense because 3.0 was pushing Star Wars, and Star Wars is only pretty recent. So
Yeah, they need like another like a new hook. What's coming out next year? What is coming out Disney wise next year?
in 2017, the next Star Wars movie, or is that
Well,
2018?
no, that's 2016.
Oh, this year you? No, I mean I thought Star Wars was 2017. I thought
There will
episode-
be a new Star Wars movie every single year from now on.
I thought it was every 2 years for the main episodes.
Every 2 years will be main episodes, but this
Yeah, that's
year
what I
we're
meant.
having
I meant
Rogue One.
episode 8.
Oh, okay. But in terms of Rogue One is this year. Like,
Right.
we will have a new Star Wars every single year from now on.
Which is crazy.
That's the life you live in. That's the world you live in now, John. Every year, every
There's already like
December-
5 Marvel movies a year.
It's closer to 2. It's actually 2.
I mean, okay, if you count 20th the Fox movies, then it's 4 or 5. But yeah, maybe
Did
right.
you see Deadpool, by the way?
Deadpool was great.
Deadpool's so good, right?
It was a really fun movie. I think that's the best way to describe that movie.
Yeah, no, I went twice the opening weekend.
I don't know if I'd see that twice.
I
I
came out of
really
that
enjoyed
going,
it, but there were points in it where I'm like, this is not what I expected.
I really like that movie, and I was like, there's so many jokes in that movie. I probably missed some. I could easily go see it again, and I did a few days later. I love that. That's a great movie. It's a really good movie. Everyone should go see Deadpool, unless you're like a little kid. Then don't go see
don't.
Deadpool. Yeah,
we
then
we
just
want
wait.
Deadpool 2 to actually happen. So
I'm sure it's gonna happen. That thing has made so much money. From what I understand, last weekend. No, hang on. Yeah, last weekend it made like 30 million, and that's like its third weekend out.
damn. I heard
again,
that it
it
was
wa-
like the highest grossing February movie.
I don't know about that. I know it was like, oh, it might be. I know it was like the highest grossing like R-rated movie.
Highest R-rated movie in February, highest R-rated movie period, and I think it
I
beat
don't know.
the movie it beat was The Passion of the Christ,
Okay.
and I don't think that
I
came
don't
out
know
in
for
February. I
sure.
think that actually came out around April, around like actual Easter time.
To be fair, I could see why this last weekend everyone would have gone to see Deadpool because it was going up against that Egypt movie,
Oh yeah.
and that thing looks terrible. Okay, that's news. Let's go to questions.
All right.
If
I don't
people
have
want to
any physical ones this time.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe next week. Topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast for Twitter, and then there's the Facebook group and the Reddit thing, and whatever. I'll read this first one. It comes from Michael. Do you guys think all games should be given a chance to be played rather than dismissed because of how they seem / past games? I mean, yes.
I mean, yeah, but it's not physically possible to play all games, as I have learned.
Well, I don't think he's saying play all games. I think he's just saying
Should we?
do
Oh
they
yeah,
get a pass? Yeah, like,
don't
it's
judge
like,
a book
yeah.
by its cover. Basically, yeah,
like
that's
obviously.
yeah.
The only
that's
one
a
I could
given.
maybe see is based on like past games in the series. Like if you don't like sports games, don't expect to like the next sports game.
Yeah, I feel like there's edge cases, but usually, yeah, you should give a game a chance.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, okay.
Next one comes to us from Comet, who says, "Was there ever a party member in a game with a personality you hated but kept using anyways? For me, it's Orochi in Fire Emblem Fates." Hmm.
Currently in Fire Emblem, I'm using that villager you get, like Mozu or something, and her whole thing is that she's just like a wimp, and I just like, you're not cool. I know you're gonna get really powerful because in Awakening, the villager gets super
In
powerful.
every Fire Emblem game, the villager gets super powerful. That's
Yeah,
like a tradition.
A pretty good tradition with Fire Emblem is if the character starts off weak, like if you use them enough, they become like godlike. But their personality is just like scared and stuff all the time. And it's like, you're not cool. You don't got like a cool eye scar or something. So I'm gonna go with Mozu. It seems I was right, Mozu. Yep.
I honestly can't think of anyone because usually, even if the character's good, I'll usually go with characters I prefer.
Personality wise, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. John says, do you have any advice for people who want to start making podcasts? I say we get this question about once a year.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah.
Have friends.
What, to like podcast with or to listen to your podcast?
Both.
I actually don't really tell that many of my friends about this podcast. Totally honest. But yeah, it's definitely easier to do the podcast if you have someone to talk to. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I would say be like comfortable and be all right with not having a lot of listeners or feedback for a long time. Because unless you like have like a following, you're just kind of putting the podcast out there.
I mean, that's the way the internet works now, is that you put something out there and then you get judged on it later.
I heard like a stat that was like 50% of all podcasts don't make it past like episode 40.
Where did you hear that? Because I've heard something similar. Yeah.
It was just someone on a podcast I was listening to.
Someone on the internet was just dropping truth.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not, but I could see that. I could see people giving up at some point. So podcasts are fun. Make sure just it's something you enjoy doing, and I would say much like any kind of like creative effort, do it because you enjoy it and not because you want like feedback. Like I do this podcast because I like catching up with you and Paul and just talking about games. And it's like a nice consistency thing I have every week. I can look forward to that. And yeah, that's my advice. You got the next question?
Mm-hmm. I thought that was all one. Tactic and Hayes says, favorite class in Fire Emblem and /or in any other class of our class-based RPG. Ironically, mine isn't the tactician. I love the hero and the general in Fire Emblem. I like Myrmidon in Fire Emblem.
Oh
And
yeah, it is Myrmidon 100%.
and in any other class type RPG, I usually like white mage, black mage mixes.
It's like a red mage.
Yeah, I guess red mage would be the best
Yeah,
example.
that's red mage. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, it is Myrmidon. Hands down, it is Myrmidon. And then in other ones, I usually like thieves or ninjas quite a bit. Like real like kind of stealthy. They usually look really cool too. The
Mm.
characters that play those ones. But yeah, Myrmidon. And then when they turn into like a swords master, oh, it's so cool. Oh, it's so cool. Christopher writes in. Um, I wanted to let y'all know of, sorry, let all you know one interesting thing about Fate's Conquest. The main difficulty in the game comes from alternate win conditions, such as having to defend an area for 12 turns or kill an exact number of boss tier enemies. Also, this one is aimed at John. GameStop sold out of Fire Emblem Fate's special edition pre-orders on the first day that they started taking pre-orders. Out of my group of friends, all Fire Emblem fanatics, I was the only one that could get the special edition before they sold out. Now on to my two questions. Where do you draw the line when it constitutes a different game? Obviously, Pokemon with a dozen Mons different doesn't really count as two different games, but Fates has 22 chapters exclusive to each version of the game, along with 8 side missions also exclusive to each base version. Revelations has all 3. There's also the story to consider, as the stories play out very differently in each of the 3 versions, and each one has classes of characters exclusive to each game. Knights, mercenaries, and fighters in Conquest, while Birthright gets Pegasus, Knights, Myrmidons, which are now called Samurai, and Spear Fighters. I think it's a good question. How do you constitute it? Which games are different games, or if they're just like a copy? I think he's right with Pokemon. Those are basically the same game.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever going to argue against that.
I'm trying to think of examples when this even comes up. It doesn't happen all the time. How do you feel about Smash 4?
Smash 4 is, I argue that's a different case because that's handheld versus home.
So you're saying different games?
I would offer a different version of same game. They're still both like desirable.
I would say they're different games. Yeah. Personally, I would say they're different games.
Fire
Is there
Emblem,
any?
yeah, Fire Emblem is
Besides
kind of
Fire
like
Emblem, I can't think of any others.
touchy.
Can you?
Yeah, because there's usually not the case. They're either exactly the same, but like the monsters are different, or like the
I'm trying to think
characters
of
are
anything.
different.
What's another game that's done that?
The Mega Man Battle Network series,
Okay. Yeah.
any company that's tried to do a Pokemon ripoff.
What were the different? Because I haven't played Battle Network in forever. What were the differences?
I think you joined like a different team in them, and then you fought some different bosses as a result. But like I
Okay.
believe the story was more or less the same in both of them.
Oh, Flippant Fox in the chat says Oracle of Ages and Seasons. Good example. Definitely different games.
Oh yeah, those are easily different games.
Those are completely different games, and they're also fantastic.
Yeah, that is actually like a case of what Fire Emblem tried to do, but I'd argue done correct.
I think
Because think about it, they want you to buy both games because content from the first game can move to the second one, and it unlocks an extra like a different ending.
Sorry, which games are we talking about right now?
Oracle of Seasons and Ages.
Okay. All right.
Now, if Fire Emblem had done something similar to that, which I mean, I guess they technically did, but it's weird, then I would be like, yes, this is good. Buy them all.
So you're saying the only issue with Fire Emblem is that content's not transferring and an additional ending?
And it's more that it doesn't like. Do you need to do both storylines to do Revelations?
I don't think no, it's a completely separate storyline. Like it's different.
No, I mean, I guess like to get Revelations to make sense of it. I don't know. I don't.
From what
know
I
full enough
understand,
details on
from
it.
what I understand, there's a point in Birthright, and well, this is for sure, where you get to choose what side of like the war
Yeah.
you're on.
That's both of them.
And from what I understand, in Revelations, you pick neither side. And
Oh.
you make like your own side. Yeah. Like it's a completely like third branch.
So wait, so Revelations is the same game again, but different? What? I
Well,
thought
no, because all 3, like the first 6 chapters are the same, right? Leading up to the split, and then you get your 22 separate ones.
Mm-hmm.
And in Birthright and Conquest, those are 2 splits, and then I understand Revelations is an added third split. Like you can choose.
Oh, I thought the Revelations was like, all right, here's like what happens after what you did.
No, it's
It's a third split. Oh Jesus.
It's a completely new game, yeah. So that's why I was gonna say Fire Emblem, I believe, would be separate games. The only part that would make it not separate games is the characters like look the same and those first 6 missions or whatever.
That
But even in
seems
the chat,
silly.
people are saying it's a completely new game. All three are new games after the split.
This is weird.
So that's why I was saying I'm probably not going to jump into Conquest right away, because I've played a lot of Fire Emblem. It'll be different, but I just don't need to play 3 Fire Emblem games back to back.
Are you able to quick skip the other 6 chapters if you've beaten the first game?
That I don't know. However, those chapters are super short, like super short.
Oh, okay.
I would argue that like the chatting on the front end and back end are longer than those missions themselves, and you can skip the dialogue. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
could probably
Comment says you can skip the first few chapters, but I think you get worse stats.
oh, maybe there's like an auto thing. Yeah, maybe. But like I said, yeah, just playing through them, you could probably get through those first ones in like an hour tops.
Yes, you
So
can start from the choice. A bunch of people say. All right,
great.
that's a bit better. All right, you know what? That's warmed me up a little bit more to that. I wasn't aware of that option.
Yeah. So I'm trying to so I guess games that I now that I think about it, Mega Man kept doing a whole bunch of those duplicates, didn't they? Like I remember something had like Pegasus in the subtitle when those
Yep.
nicknames were getting crazy.
And then they did the oh, what the hell was that one called? The Star Force series, which also did the same thing.
I don't know what that
Those,
is.
those were
What
the
was
DS
difference?
ones. Those were the DS ones.
Oh, Mega Man Star Force. So
Yeah.
do you know what the difference in those were?
I think your actual like character was different because there was like Star Force Pegasus. And I don't remember what the other two are, but like the idea was that your
Different
character's
story or just
story was the same, but like your actual like way of fighting and your specials and stuff like that were different.
okay.
And I think you also encountered different abilities and characters along the way.
Yeah, I'm
That
trying to think like
sounds right
if
in
I
my
was to
head.
make I think obviously it's going to be case by case, but like I guess personally if there's a if the levels I'm playing are different, I'll be interested. If it's just like a new story but I'm still playing the same game, I probably wouldn't be as interested in going for it.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in knowing what the story is, but if it's like this is just the same thing I just played, then yeah, I'm not quite interested in that.
Phone's dying.
And his second game, what do you think of the children mechanic in Awakening and Fates? I felt it worked in Awakening. Oh, hang on, he has a spoiler thing here. Hang on.
So it's a good thing I did not read this question.
Oh no, he didn't say any spoilers. So he says, I felt it worked in Awakening because spoilers, but
yeah.
it feels much more forced in Fates. Should they keep up the trend of having children in the game, or does it damage the story too much? I think I know what he means by why it worked so well in Awakening. Because one of the children is like really significant, right?
Hmm.
I haven't got to the children part in Fates, so I don't know if there's a story connection to it. But I mean, I'm fine with it. Like, why not? I don't see why it's bad. If you don't want to play with the children, don't use them. It's just more characters.
Well, presumably they're better characters, right? At least that was how it worked in Awakening.
Are they better? I don't
I
remember
believe
that.
they're supposed to be because they take on the attributes of their parents.
Oh, okay. I don't think I used the children really because my characters were already like so souped up. I was like, I'm gonna stick with these guys that I enjoyed. All right, you got the next one?
Yep. One sec. Oh, I can tell that was a different one. Thomas writes in and says, I was a little slow on this, but I just discovered Segata Sanshiro, the mascot of the Sega Saturn, is in Project Cross Zone 2. Is this the best crossover ever? Yes.
Just definitively,
Dude,
yes.
his dialogue, from what I've seen, has been phenomenal. It's so on point with the character, and it just seems so weird. And everyone else in the world of the game is just like, let's just go with it. The Sega Saturn is the most powerful computer in the world. We're going to put it in our giant walking death tank. There we go.
That's pretty funny. I don't have the context for all this because I haven't played the game. Obviously, is Sega? Hang on. Is Segato Sanshiro? Is he the guy that you play like that game you made me pick up for you?
Yes,
Okay,
that's exactly who that is.
you're right. And
He was
he had
he
like
was
at least
the
he had, like,
mascot
3
for the Sega
games or
Saturn.
something, right?
Yeah.
I love the idea of the mascot just being like a dude in like a karate getup
Have
or
you ever
whatever.
seen the commercials for the Sega Saturn
I
starring
think
him?
I think a while back you did show me them when we were
Yeah.
like playing those on the
They're
stream.
like him like beating the crap out of people because they're not playing the Sega Saturn. It's
I
great.
don't.
It's so
That's good.
good. I'm
That's
so
good.
glad that he's like
Um,
playable in a video game.
I'm gonna take your word for it being the best crossover. I do just want to shout out that Professor Layton Phoenix Wright crossover game is really good. James writes in, if you could make a game that has the same engine as the Scott Pilgrim game and had Anna Monoguchi for the soundtrack, but had to use a franchise that wasn't Scott Pilgrim, what franchise would you use?
Can we use something that would make no sense but would still have the happy music like Silent Hill?
So it's gonna be a Silent Hill beat 'em up
A Silent Hill beat 'em up, but the music's all like happy and energetic like
and
Scott Pilgrim's
like
soundtrack.
techno and such.
Yeah,
Sure. I mean, sure.
that'd be great.
Uh, I wasn't going that way. I was gonna say like Transformers
That would also be
or
really good.
like just make like an X-Men game, which they already have the X-Men beat up game, but
Mm.
having it sprites like that would be cool. But I think transforming like back and forth between cars and robots to do different attacks would be really interesting.
Yeah, no, that would be solid. Actually, that's a good
Silent
choice.
Hill.
That'd just be funny.
Oh, for sure.
It would just be like the dog ending over and over again as a video game. It'd be great. Or even the UFO ending from 3. That's probably more what's akin to because that ending was weird, but
That
like
just makes me
funny
think
weird.
of that Dead Rising DLC that they put out. That's
Yeah.
super like arcadey.
I also wouldn't mind a Dead Rising one, but or like a Capcom All Stars version. I feel like that would be
Sure.
better.
There you go. Or what if like PlayStation All Stars was just that game, actually?
That would also be pretty good.
That would have been cool. All right,
Next
you
one.
got Glenn's?
Oh, I didn't realize we did a different question. I'm smart. Glenn writes in and says, "Hey guys, have you ever wondered how comic books never caught on to the mainstream? Sure, sales have definitely gone up, of course, but how could they not with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and great shows like The Flash or Jessica Jones? But comics still aren't accessible. The continuity keeps shifting, so good luck finding a resource that tells you which series of comics comes before or after another one, much less exists in the same universe at all or isn't retconned later. Completing a vintage set for any series can't be cheap either. There's decades of potentially great stories out there and dozens of variations on the same beloved heroes. Isn't there millions of dollars to be made here? Imagine a Steam, Redbox, or Netflix service where you can get the old stuff for cheap, mailed in reprints or comics or digital versions you can read on a tablet or phone. Those exist.
Yeah,
Uh,
when I first read that, I was like, all of this exists. It's called Comixology or the
yeah,
Marvel app or the DC app.
yeah. You
You
this
don't get physical copies,
no,
but you
but
do
digital.
get
There's
literally
tons
the
of
backlog.
digitals.
In fact, I think you even get up to a couple months ago, so it's not that late.
Yeah. How cool would it be to get your Silver Age fix while on break at work or binge read some X-Men while at home? It bothers me that the comics industry is over 2 times as old as the video game industry, but there's no comparison with how much money comic books make. But what do you guys think? Can the solution really be that simple, or are comics doomed to be forever part of Nerd Obscura? Um, I think Comixology is kind of already the answer that you're looking for, to be real.
Yeah, and yeah, there's a few subscription services. Marvel Unlimited, I think, is one of them is called. But yeah, no, those are definitely out there for your phone and your tablet. In terms of like making money, he's totally right with the constant renumbering and just not even knowing where to start. If I was, and what I always hear as advice, and I think is good, is if you're looking to get into comics and like the weekly comics, you got to just go in there and you just got to pick up the number and start going. Uh, and then work your way backwards after that.
I
If you're
feel like
like,
now with the internet, you have the ability to catch up in a way.
right,
You can look up like, here's what I missed in this story. Yeah.
And that's the thing is just start reading. You'll catch up eventually, and if you want to know more, go online. Like I'm a big fan of Comic Vine. I listen to their podcast, which also keeps me up to date with comic news and stuff. So I would give that a shout out if people are interested in getting into comic books for sure. Um, and then you can also find like, well, I really like this character. What's a story arc that he was cool in or she was cool in, and then you can go for like the trade paperbacks too, because yeah, the numbering gets real confusing. They relaunch stuff all the time. They constantly renumber. There's crossovers. I can understand how it's daunting, but the way I started is I just went in and I was like, hey, I like Batman. I got the latest Batman. I got a couple issues that the comic store had from before that. And then I slowly started getting more. I was like, well, Robin keeps showing up. I like Robin too. I'll get the Robin comic. I'll get the Batman and Robin comic. what should I get from? And then I just slowly branched out more and more, and that's how I got into it. But so, when was the last time you read a comic book, John?
It was recently, but I can't think of what. The last series I got into was Transmetropolitan back in university. So like I am way out of. I'm not into like mainstream.
I've heard a lot of good things about that series though.
Yeah.
But yeah, um, but yeah, no, there's a lot of cool things. So again, I recommend Comic Vine. That's a great resource for comic book stuff if you're looking to branch out more with that stuff. And also, yeah, Flash and Jessica Jones were great. Did you watch Jessica Jones, John? Did you watch
I
Daredevil?
can't think of the last time I've logged into Netflix.
Oh man, okay. Well, Jessica Jones is great, and yeah, the Flash is great too. All right, Andy says Final Fantasy XIV had a nice little tribute to the late David Bowie in their latest patch. In the dungeon Anti-Tower, there was a boss with the name Ziggy who summons ads called Stardust. I don't know if that's a typo or not. Anyway, I thought that was a neat thing Square Enix did. What were the most favorite homages to celebrities, actors, etc. that you enjoyed? I don't even know if I can think of one.
I can't.
Oh, I thought of a couple.
There was
Go
this anime I used to watch called, I think, Cromartie High School, and one of the characters was basically just Freddie Mercury.
Okay. I was gonna say, Raven Software used to put Lost references in their games, and I know that's not a specific character or specific actor, but I really enjoyed those. I actually really like when other games reference, different video games that the developers are just into. Like Raven Software also referenced Metroid in Singularity.
That makes sense.
Trying to think of anything else.
Someone else brings up Space Michael, which is another pretty good one.
What is Space Michael?
It's exactly what you think it is. It's Michael Jackson in space. He's
Okay,
like
I was actually thinking of Michael Jordan. I don't know
Okay.
why.
it's called Space Jam probably.
Space Jam, probably.
But yeah, no, it's Michael Jackson in space. He's a cop from the future in Space Channel 5.
Okay, in the game.
He saves the world and the universe through the power of dance and music.
There you go. That sounds pretty good. Yep. Someone says Mario's reference in Assassin's Creed 2. That one was okay. I didn't think that one was great, but it was okay. Sure. And all right, you got this last one.
Yep. Last question comes from Mage. It's a two-parter. Say that you are in charge for the next content update for the 3DS's Street Pass software. First off, what puzzles / hats / speech balloons, accessories, etc. would you see to it that gets added to the update? And the second question, what type of game / other features would you like to see get added to the update?
Okay, so new Street Pass stuff.
Yeah. I can't think of any characters I specifically would want their outfits or like helmets or hats for, because most of the ones I would want have already been covered.
I also don't really care about it. Honestly, my interest in Street Passing has definitely dropped. But I'm trying to think what could get me back.
They've been so slow and like delayed with any like new content. We got those 2 new games, like, was that 2 years ago or 1 year ago?
I'm gonna assume it was 1 year ago. Couldn't have been that long. I never bought any of those games, so I'm not even sure which games. But I do remember. I think the update was about a year ago. I mean, yeah. I think I'm just not really interested. Because I like the puzzles, but I just don't care enough to have my 3DS on all the time. And I care more about my 3DS having its battery life when I want to play it more than I do getting puzzles pieces.
I don't know. Like I don't mind Street Pass. It's fun. I liked playing the games. I kind of wish there were more.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I never even played the games. Maybe if it was like for every Street Pass you got a Picross puzzle. You got a new one. How about that? Every 5 unlocks you the next Picross puzzle. And it's a weird free-to-play thing, and you can pay to unlock them, or you can Street Pass with people, and it gets you a Picross puzzle. That's my answer. I would play that.
Right,
I would Street Pass again.
Looks like it was April 2015, so not even a year.
There you go. When was the last time you played one of those?
I have them all finished, so I don't
Oh,
remember.
okay. I didn't know there was a finish to those games.
Yeah.
All right. If people want to send in questions for next week, topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter or the Facebook group or the Reddit subreddit. What's your game of the week?
Super Evolution.
That's okay. I never thought that was going to be said on this podcast.
I did it.
Yes, you did. Mine is Fire Emblem Fates. So we'll be back next week, hopefully with Paul, and we'll see you guys later.
Later.